Hello. This time I'm going to experiment with RStudio again. My aim is of this video to be able to import a CSV file which contains data and some basically time series data, and then be able to plot it in R sensibly. Okay, so I'm going to go to my import dataset button over here. I'm going to left click on it, and then I'm going to choose from text file. My data is a CSV file which contains the prices of gas, oil, and Brent and date. So I'm going to open it and I'm going to load it. Okay, so I'm using the import functionality over here that RStudio has. As you can see, it's a CSV file. It has got a header at the top, so I'm going to say heading as yes. It's got commas, so I'm going to use my separator as comma, and then I'm just going to press enter to load the data. Um, Right. So what it has done is it has used, I mean, I could have just used read CSV functionality as well with the location of the file. So read CSV and under within which you can use the name of the file to read in. It has created a kind of a data set called gasoil.and.brent. It's a big name actually, which will store my spreadsheet data. Okay, so this is how the data set looks like. I've got date in one column, I've got gas oil price in one column, and I've got Brent price in another column. Right? Okay. So now the first thing we're going to do is, in order to plot, we need to convert date into actually just what the second line shows over here. If you write view gasoil.and.brent, pretty much we are using the function view and the data set in it. It will show you the data set, which is the view over here. Okay, so what I was saying was, in order to draw a plot, we need to convert the date into kind of a format that R understands. Okay, so I'm going to call a variable which is going to be R date. Okay, then I'm going to choose call a function which is as date, and within this function I'm going to give it the variable date. So first of all, I'm going to write the object name, which is gasoil.and.brent. Then I'm going to reference that within that object I need its date variable. Okay, so it's cap sensitive, so you have to write everything exactly the way it is. Then I'm going to write the format in which this date variable is in. So as we know, the format is month, day, year. Okay, so I'm going to have double quotes. Then I'm going to use percentage, which is the format that's R understands, or the format which is this. I'm going to write M, which stands for month. Then slash, which is there, again percentage. I'm going to write day, which is day, again slash. Then I'm going to write percentage, and then 11 again. Sorry, not 11, but year again. Okay, so what this will do is this will create, it will call a function which is called as.date. In the function, it's going to say that, okay, I've got an object gasoil.and.brent, and of that object I need the variable date, which is in this format, and please convert that into a format that R understands. Okay, let's hope it works. Cool. So in the workspace I can see over here, so okay, so workspace, just to give you an idea, workspace tells me what things I'm working with pretty much. So I've got my data, gasoil.and, which is over here. Then I've got my values, which is R date, and it contains 297 values. So if I left click on it and it says, are you sure? I say yes, I will see a set of values. So these are all values which R understands. So what has R done? R has taken a date format and converted into values that it understands. Okay, so now I'm going to cancel it. Right. Okay, so now comes the easy part, which is the plotting, or well, the main part. So we just write plot. Okay, now I'm going to give it the what values I'm going to plot. So I'm going to say I want a value, or I want variables from the data set gas, oil, and Brent dollar, and the variable is called, say for example, I want to plot Brent. Okay, then the x-axis for that is my again, oh sorry, it's our date, right? So because I converted the date, if I use gas oil dot oil and dot Brent, so object and date, it will not plot it because it's not the date that it understands, right? So I've got this sorted. Then after that I tell it, okay, so I want my plot type to be L, okay? Then I want the color of this line to be red, because I like red. Now, for the moment, I'm going to say axis is equal to false. Basically, do not draw any axis in it, right? I don't need any axis at the moment. Then I'm going to press that, so hopefully I'm going to get a price. Okay, the graph looks pretty crap because it's zoomed in. Let me actually get out of it so that it looks sensible. So here is the plot. So I've got gas oil dot and dot Brent. This is my variable, and this is the R date. Okay, so of course there is no access to it. So let's start to make it look a little bit nicer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say box, which will this function. So I'm calling a function again. So okay, so the box will basically make a box around the plot, which is here. It does not have any access on it, so that's not very good. So we're going to include access to it. So we're going to write access. Then one axis means x-axis, two axis means y-axis. So I'm going to say axis 1, and I'm going to say which contains our date, needs to be in a format which is, please take our date in it, and then I'm going to say the format that I want is M and the year. Okay, and I press enter. Then after that, if I just zoom in again, so here we go. So we have got the from our data set, I've got a variable Brent, so I've plotted Brent over here, and I've plotted the price of Brent from June 11 to July 12. That's it. That's all I want to show.